Fur-Elise. Wasn't it just exciting? Well, no. Actually, in a word, it was probably boring. But the fundamentals were there. The notes were right. The rhythms were accurate. But it didn't have any passion, did it? It didn't have the kind of thing that stirs your soul when you listen to music. As I have thought and listened to some of my past recordings and watched the DVD of my last tape, I have realized that I have a very narrow band of interest in my voice. It's caused me to ponder for some time over what to do about it and how to tackle it. As a musician, I automatically went to examining music. What makes music stir our hearts? When I sit down and play, I automatically play with a wide range of variety and expression. So why don't I speak that way? Today, I want to persuade you to look at some of the aspects of music with me and then pounce on the opportunity to incorporate these principles from music into the speaking voice. You see, our voice is our instrument. This is my instrument when I perform music, but the voice is the instrument when we speak. If our voice is not interesting, if it lulls the listeners to sleep, then our message is not communicated. As beginning Toastmasters, we get the foundation in place. We get our outline. We get an introduction and a body and a conclusion. But we often sound like this. You get the idea. I would like us to explore two areas of music. The first area is expression. One of the things that makes music so exciting is the change from the loud to the soft, or the gradually building up to something that's loud, suddenly soft. When I sit down to learn a piece of music, all of the data regarding the expression is already in the music. The composer has written in when to get loud, over how long a period of time, when to get soft. It's very easy for me. All I have to do is interpret what's on the page. Let's add the level of expression to the example that I played from Fur-Elise. Number one and number two. If you had to listen to those two presentations, I'm assuming that you would rather hear number two. Now, we take the principle of expression and we move it to Toastmasters, to our speaking voice, and we call it vocal variety. The difference between music and speaking is that our script that we compose doesn't automatically say, get loud here, get soft here, gradually build up to this point in the speech. As the composer of our speeches, we have to add that element. I know people who draft their speeches and down the margin, they write loud, soft, so that it's composed just like a piece of music, and they're making music with their words. Expression, vocal variety. It's an absolute necessity in music, and it's a significant component of a good speaking voice and making music with our voice. A second component that I want us to look at in music is tempo. Tempo refers to how fast, how slow a piece of music is played. When I open a piece of music, again, to learn it, at the top there is a word that gives an indication to me of approximately how fast it will go and the mood of the piece. But within that framework, the composer writes in, get faster here, slow down here, and lets me know how long a period of time that lasts. Again, it adds another level to the music and makes it very interesting and pleasing to hear. Let's add the level of tempo to our example from Beethoven. Somewhere now, aren't we? We're starting to hear music with them and not just notes. This principle travels over into speaking. The word that's in our Toastmaster manuals is our rate of speaking. When we get excited, we talk faster, we talk louder, and the rate speeds up. Sometimes, for emphasis, you want to slow down and be very deliberate. We all have different rates of speaking. Lynn is a good example, and Jenny in our club, of people who have a very fast rate of speaking. Much faster than mine. Mine is deliberate, and it tends to be a bit too slow, which is why we're talking about this. And to develop an awareness of what our speaking rate is and how we need to improve it. Whether it needs to be sped up or slowed down. The speaking rate is what adds the interest along with the expression. So these musical principles of expression and tempo transfer over into our speaking voice. We can actually make music with our speaking voice when we implement these principles of music. I challenge you to go with me on this journey and explore the vocal variety and the rate of speaking. Wherever we are in our level of development, we can bump ourselves up to the next level. The challenge is to decide if we want to stay here or move on to another level.
I'm giving Anne a note about speech, and I would encourage all of you to write both Daryl and Anne notes about their speeches. I thought the analogies were really, really excellent. If you really want to try something when you're practicing a speech, this is probably the musician's best friend and worst enemy, the metronome. Goes clear.